You're
Good to
good.
go?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, well, well. Who wants to talk about death this morning? You know, these are uh, the five remembrances. The existential unavoidables, the things that we can't avoid, but that we do our best to avoid in this culture. It's incredible how really it's incredible how much more in this culture we avoid talking about these things, focusing on them, and inviting them to be part of the fabric of life, much more so than most other countries, as in my reading of it. And Susan just found an article recently. It's called this called it's really beautiful in this context, and in a contrast to what goes on in the United States. It's called a dostadning. It's a Swedish word. Dostadning. It means death. Death. Do means death, and stadning means cleaning. Death cleaning. Death cleaning. Well, in Sweden, this is not considered to be a morose or morbid situation at all, but it's the gradual, over time, we're letting go of more and more physical possessions, simplifying one's life as one goes along, as one enters into late life stages, as a very natural, organic shedding. Releasing, recycling, repurposing, etc. However we do that, however they would do that there, and as a way of simplifying so that as one gets closer later on in life, there's fewer to disperse. And of course, much less for the heirs to have to take care of. Have we all seen those nightmares? Have we all seen those nightmares in this country? We are so averse to dealing with death in any way. People don't even get life insurance. It's amazing how few people get life. One of the first most important insurances. I don't get. We don't get warranties on anything, but life insurance, home insurance, life insurance, right? I know because my dad didn't have it, and and in this culture we go exactly the opposite direction. Hoarding has become a new diagnosis in the diagnostic manual. It's a psychological diagnosis now. Hoarding. One of the most booming businesses, apart from high tech in this country, is storage units, so that we can even hold on to more. Now people die, and not only do people have to clean out their attic, their cellar, and everything else, but they have to clean out the storage units for that person. Oh, those things were too precious to let go of. They're paying monthly fees on a storage unit. And it's all part and parcel of the denial and the avoidance of all things related to all of it, to aging, sickness. Dying is in the medical profession is a failure still. Yeah, right. There's so much there. There's so much in terms of our relationship to death, but also in contrast to how it's dealt with in other cultures. Yeah. Uh, and I want to check that out. It's called Swedish death cleaning. Such a beautiful practice, and one that is full. The whole community, it's the whole country does it. This is not it's just part of part of the life process, and part of the legacy of. Uh, it's so sad to see that part of people's legacy is that they left all their crap. People don't have wills, and they don't want to. We see it in all these forums. I mean, I understand. We both understand that this is the way it is. That it's just all the way it is in this country. But where are you with that? Where are we with that? We talk it, in Buddhism. It's interesting. It's not discussed quite as much as it was back a while back, but the concept of voluntary simplicity, which is also simplifying a little bit more, just in general. How much, this goes along. How much stuff do we need? How many, in this country, how much do we need? There's that whole question. But as we get closer, as we move along, Susan's pretty big on this. We do a kind of an annual spring cleaning of sorts. And we'll go through our closets too. Things that if we haven't worn something in 5 years, yeah, but I'm attached to it. Yeah, but it's sitting in a closet. Have you seen this? I've been through this. People die, their whole closet, it's just huge closets of clothes, and I still have some stuff I've had for a long time. I don't want it. What is that with us? What is that with the not wanting to let go, especially when we're going to let go of something that other people could benefit from? Things are still in good shape, that sense of the deeper sense of recycling and repurposing. I don't know where you're at with that. I know we pay more attention to that than we used to. And I mean, there really is that sense of, that death is something that happens to other people. And there's a deep, deep denial that's baked into our culture that it will happen sometime, but no time soon. And yet everyone dies in the middle of a 5-year plan, you know? Yeah. Just heard about somebody the other day. He was about to make a whole transmission of his business and his will, and he said, but I'll do that a couple more years, and he dropped dead and left everything in total chaos, everything in total chaos, and that sense of kicking down the road, not today, someday, but not today, someday, but not today, yeah. And this is just one more angle. It's one more angle it's particularly poignant. I was really struck. I had never heard of the Swedish death cleaning until Susan found that article, and I went, wow, because it's so culturally normative and respectful. It's considered, and people, funerals aren't as big a deal. They're shorter. People talk about death. Uh, Dying and death, it's because the whole conversation becomes more normative within the culture, and so it's just one more thing that we're a little bit more at odds with, a little bit more resistant to, a little bit more avoidant of. This whole delicate business of the tender business of dying, and so just that one more reflection. That one more reflection for all of us. How are we doing with all of that? How are we doing with all of that? What are we over much, holding on to? And yeah. So that's it. We're moving on now. We won't, yeah, we're gonna be all done with dying now. We'll move on to other subjects, but it's another important one. And as well as, all that we've already discussed about death. I mean, Susan and I still, to this day, acknowledge when we wake up, you know, and we smile, like, of course, we're always going to both be here waking up, yeah. This is just not the way, right? It's like just obviously the whole death focus, or the invitation to consider it more, the inevitability of it, is to bring appreciation to still being here. We know this. We know this. That is the intent. That is the intent. Huh? How many stories have we heard about, oh, appreciating so much after the loss? and not enough, well, that person, that being, that pet was still here, you know? Yeah. So of course, ultimately, that's the single biggest thing. It's the single biggest, our biggest relationship to dying, to this whole business of dying, is just the continual acknowledgement that say, yes, 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 and we're still here. Amazingly, still here. Yeah. Yeah. So of course, that's the reflection. That's the greatest reflection of all, we think, and the way to make it most alive, to make the reflection most alive, most vital for us. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, let's open up. Let's open up and meditate together a little bit. Okay. Now, when you're ready, lightly closing your eyes. And I will often, mostly, I will do this as one of the things when I close my eyes to meditate each time, just that sense of, oh my goodness, um, I'm still here. I say that to myself a lot, very frequently. And even right at the beginning of meditation, look at this. The body is here, awareness is here, the heart is beating, the breath is moving. Just that momentary reflection as a starting point. And as a way to bring the heart in a little bit right at the beginning as well. and orienting towards settling. With sensitivity, with care. When you find the mind drifting into a kind of casual attention, can you bring a little bit more care a little bit more interest, more kindness. The willingness to gently return to the present moment, to the next breath when the mind wanders away. The willingness to return. Yeah. And the last few minutes of the meditation, settling back a bit more, receptive attention. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you so
Let me
much.
stop the recording, give you permission to unmute, and we can have